Alright guys, I wanted to try something a little bit new today and I wanted to share my journal ecosystem with you guys because obviously I, like many other people, have been seeing so many amazing, beautiful videos of you sharing your journal ecosystems, and they are so gorgeous and a lot of them are handmade, and I love it. Like a lot of other people, I have been very heavily influenced by Louise Carmon and by the Traveler's Notebook style of journal. And I just think it's such a cute idea of keeping all of your journals together and keeping little notebooks together so that you don't have to carry a ton of these, or you don't have to just choose one to carry when you're leaving the house. I definitely designed my ecosystem around that idea. So this is the updated version of my ecosystem. And by updated, I literally mean I updated the covers like maybe 3 days ago. My initial goal was to make the journal with thrifted bags that I could find, and the goal too was that I'd be able to find unique materials or designs or colors, and I really wanted to be able to incorporate that into my journal again because it's almost just another creative outlet for me to be able to make that journal cover. And I was thinking of upgrading it and looking for leather to see if I could find leather, but it is so expensive that I just couldn't in good conscience spend money on that stuff. I was sticking with what I had and that was fine, and I wasn't really looking for genuine leather, and I had given up on that idea. So what I had been trying to do for the longest time was finding these pleather or just these faux leather sheets, and literally just stroke of luck, a couple of days ago I found it at Dollarama. I found this fake leather desk mat and I was like, this has been here all this time and I have never seen this. It is literally just a rolled up piece of fake leather that is supposed to act as a desk mat. So you'd roll it out on your desk and you'd just like put whatever you want on top of it so it doesn't ruin your desk. But it's so beautifully finished. It had such a good look to it. And I was like, this is exactly what I've needed this entire time. I'm like, this is literally the perfect journal cover. And it's like $4. I was like, say less, I am buying this. Thank you so much. I grabbed one brown and one black, and that was how I ended up making my new journal covers, and I absolutely loved it. With me being able to make this a second time round and having at least a full month's worth of consistent journaling, I think I was able to understand a little bit more about what I liked about my current cover and what I didn't, and so I really tried to incorporate those changes in. And so I feel like I was able to end up with a much better looking ecosystem. But I do just want to mention that to say my journal cover before wasn't as pretty as it is right now. But even though this one's prettier, like literally the bag cost me more from the thrift store than this. So all this to say that you don't need to have fancy equipment and like really fancy materials for you to make a good looking ecosystem. Sometimes it's literally a stroke of luck and you just like find something that just is literally going to work perfectly. But you know, don't stop looking for something if you really want a specific vibe and a specific feel, but also don't be impulsive about buying things that are more expensive just because you know that it's going to look a certain way. If you're fine with your ecosystem being the way that it is right now, wait until you find something that you really like and wait until you find something that really speaks to you, and then go and make your ecosystem. I'm so excited to share my journal ecosystem with you guys. I'm just going to go one by one, and I'm just going to go from the top down to the bottom. So first up, we have my little pocket notebook. Now this is the one that I just made a couple of days ago, which is brand new. And I'm so excited. I haven't quite used this one yet, but I'm so excited for it. So like I said, this is the piece that I got from Dollarama. So you can see around the sides over here how it's like finished around here, which I think is really cute. Since I cut it in half, the bottom doesn't have that, and it's obviously kind of like curling up a little bit, but I still think it's such a cute little look. You can always just put the finished side at the top of your journal and then the unfinished or the cut off side at the bottom. As you can see, it looks really cute. These are the grommets again that I just kind of like put in myself, and then I just put in a little double grommet at the back so I could get the elastic around for the front. I have a little bit of this stuff peeking out, which actually I kind of really like the look of. I think it just looks so cute, and I think it just looks really nice and like full. So this one's more of a traveler style notebook where there's no like flap over it. It's just a little open on the side. Obviously, as I use this, the leather is going to bend over here. Is going to bend over here, but it is what it is. I don't really mind the look of things being used. I actually think it makes it look a little bit cuter. So I don't mind that at all. I haven't added any charms or anything to it because I just made it. I don't want to just go and buy some charms. So if I find something, I will. So the first thing that we have up here, oh, and by the way, the inside is like gray, which I think it's not my favorite color, but again, I don't really mind. It's the inside. I'm not really looking at the inside as much as I am the outside. So I'm okay with that. Over here, we have my People notebook. I ended up getting this notebook from Indigo, but it's literally just my People notebook, as you can see right here. Basically what I do is I just go in and I write little things that maybe came up in conversation with my friends the last time that I met them, so that maybe the next time that I meet them, or even if I just want to like flip through it, I can kind of remember their life updates and not feel like a bad person when my memory doesn't serve me well. Now again, because this notebook is new, I just kind of put in some books that I have used before that I just didn't fill out, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to use this for. I've had this for years now and I've kind of used it for a bunch of different reasons, so I tried to wow, I tried to make it a bit of a planner. As you can tell, that obviously did not go well. At about like a little bit less than halfway through this book, you know, I just stopped using it and I just haven't used it since. So I want to try to make use of this book because I think it is a really cute notebook, and obviously I haven't finished it, so I'm trying to get rid of these books, or trying to use these books that I just have sitting in my shelves that just basically serve no purpose. So I put this in here with the idea of maybe making it a bit of a mini on-the-go junk journal. I do have an actual kind of junk journal slash scrapbook in my ecosystem, but I thought this could be, I don't know, maybe a little bit on the go. I just thought it could be cute. I do carry a little craft pouch with me as well. I just thought I could, you know, I don't know, if I'm like at a cafe or if I'm at work and I just feel like I really want to journal, and I just want to make junk journal spreads that don't take too much time and too much effort and planning out because the pages are very small. I can just kind of go in, and even just like using this as a background I think is so fun, and I can just like, you know, journal and scrapbook, and I just thought it would be a fun thing to do, and hopefully would get me to actually use this book that again just sits useless in my shelves. Now this is a little leather wallet that I thrifted as well. Initially this was in my main journal, but I got an actual portfolio like thing, mostly to hold my stickers or little things that I wanted to hold on to then later make a spread out of, or a little junk journal spread out of. And I just didn't need this in my other journal anymore, and it added unnecessary bulk to it. I was trying to figure out what to do with it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna put it in here, and this can act as a place to hold any, again, memorabilia, any stickers, whatever I want to hold in here, which I can use to junk journal on the go. So I thought this would fit in really cute. Again, I like the look of it just sticking out a little bit. I think it just adds a little bit of personality to it, so I decided to put it in here. It's got tons of pocket space, so I can really just like shove in receipts, stickers. I can shove in just little things I want to carry with me. I ended up just keeping this pic, guys, I peeked, but I got a pic from an All Time Low concert that I went to, and literally peaked. So I don't really know what to do with it yet. I was thinking of using it in a spread, but I want to see both sides of the pic, so I've decided to just carry it with me like a little good luck token almost. And then as you can see, I just have a little sticker thing here that I forgot to put back, and just some stuff that I wanted to carry with me and just keep with me. And yeah, that's the little like almost acts like a portfolio. And then this is another notebook that I've just had for a while and just haven't used it. I also got this years and years and years ago. It was a really cool notebook that came like rolled up in a tube. It was super cool, but it had a back flap that used to like flap over, but and a string to kind of tie it around. Obviously putting it in this journal, I didn't want to keep that, so I just cut it off and kept the notebook. And I used this when I was trying to learn Japanese, which obviously I have not kept up with, but I used this again years and years and years ago. And because I've only used like not even maybe like 12-ish pages of this thing, I can just kind of continue here and use it for whatever I want to use it for, really. I can just use this as a little catch-all book that goes with me everywhere, and when it's done, I can think about what I want to put in next. So that is my little pocket notebook, I guess. And once it's, I think, a little bit more up and running, I will start carrying it with me everywhere, and just popping it in my bag. Again, it's also just, it's so much like smaller and just more compact that I can just pop it in my bag and I won't really notice it. But yeah, pretty happy with this notebook. Definitely proud of it. Now, this journal is really my main journal, and I say main because this is what I had before. Like I mentioned, the previous journal, I had these 2 books that I added, but my people journal and that leather portfolio were in my main journal, and I just had one cover that I was using. So this now holds, I guess, everything else that I had in that journal. And I did cut down on it. Like I said, that leather insert was taking up so much space. So you can see how it's like pretty tucked in, pretty compact. And the reason I wanted to size this down a little bit was I really wanted the fold over effect. And I did not want to overstuff it, because obviously the more that you overstuff it, the less that this is going to fold over. And I am really happy with this end product. Again, guys, this is the roll that I found at Dollarama. What do you mean? Look at this gorgeous color. I love it so much. It's just such a beautiful tan brown, and like this is exactly what I was envisioning for my journal. It's just so hard to find bags that have this much real estate to cut off that looks good and has this kind of color. But I am so happy with this journal, and I love the fold over of it. It feels so cute. It just feels so neat. This one does have some of the charms that I had on the previous journal. Now, I say charms, they're not really charms, they're kind of pendants. Really, again, I didn't want to go and like spend money on charms, so I decided to look at just some of the necklaces that I had here that I was not wearing. And I had this beautiful sun necklace that I thrifted, but I just never wore it because it was such a statement piece. Like, it has multiple of these with like bigger suns all over them, and I loved it, but I never wore it with anything. So I ended up breaking it apart, and I used one of these suns on like a bunch of other journals that I made for my friends as well. So this ended up just looking so cute, and I feel like this tied it in together so well. And I literally just threaded the elastic behind the sun, and I think it just ended up looking so cute. And again, I think it just ties it all together because it sits, you can see, it sits so beautifully on it. I love this. I love this so much. And I think it really tied this journal together. And again, these are just pendants. It's cool. It adds personality. It's a bunch of things that I like. So I think it works really great. I haven't added anything on the bottom because I don't really like the idea of things like dangling down here. So I like them being contained up here. So that was how I styled this journal. And again, I just did a little double grommet at the back. That's what she looks like. And again, so this one kind of has most of the things that I would use on a daily basis when I'm journaling. So this is my sticker portfolio that I found. So this is the portfolio that I was talking about that I replaced that brown leather one with. I literally just found this at the Dollar Tree, decorated it with some stickers because I just wanted it to look a little bit cuter, and I just thought it was so fun. So this literally just holds a bunch of stickers that I have. Don't mind this, guys. I love raiding Dollarama for kid stickers. Ha ha ha. Look at those cat stickers, guys. Isn't that the best? And then this is just like more cat stickers. Haha. Can you tell I like cats? And just things that I wanted to cut out or things that I wanted to hold on to use the scrapbook. That's what I used this portfolio for. And again, I think it just has so much more place and so much more usability than the leather portfolio that I had. So I decided to use this in my main one. Again, just because this one is, it's hefty, it's bulky. So I decided to just keep this one here and transfer the leather portfolio over to the other one. Some more stickers, obviously. And this is kind of my tracker book. Again, bunch of stickers. I ended up taping this down because a lot of the little stickers started coming out with use. So I just kind of taped it. It looks a little It looks a little gnarly, but I don't care. It has charm, it has personality, so I'm all here for it. And so these are my trackers. So this is more of something that I wanted to use kind of like over the year, and I ended up just putting a bunch of, you know, kind of trackers of stuff. Obviously, haha, I'm lacking on content creation, but I'm just trying to, you know, track a lot of the things I do. One of the things the only thing I've really been tracking consistently is my screen time, and everything else is just when it happens, like impulse buying, I guess, stuff like that. Because I wanted to like track things, I wrote down the anti-brain rot challenge that I was doing. So I just wrote down some of like the rules and some of the ideas, and then I ended up making my little tracking spread here. So these are all of the books that I'm reading as part of the challenge, and I just put the location of where I was getting it from. So whether it was on my Kobo, whether it was on my bookshelf, or whether it was from my library, because I just checked to make sure that I could find these books before adding them to the challenge. And I just have the date that I finished reading them, and then my rating for them. And I put all of my reviews and stuff on Fable. So again, if you want to follow me over there, give me a follow. You can see all of my book reviews as I read them. And this is my curriculum. And then I just left this page to do my thoughts on the challenge. And then I just did a little bingo that I've seen a lot of people doing, and then some current obsessions that I wanted to list down that I thought was also a cute idea. But I guess the main idea of this book too is for me to have something to look back on at the end of the year to see what my year was like. So I tried to have, you know, like trackers so I could see what I did in that year, but also little things that are just like, oh, what is stuff that I pushed myself to do, or what are things that I really loved over the year, and then content creation that I also saw that I thought was a really cute idea on someone else's spread. Don't mind my egregious numbers, guys. You can tell I have so many, I'm so famous. Ah. Anyways, I also saw this really cute spread for like activities for when, and it's like, you know, energy levels and things like that, which I think was a cute way to remind me to do stuff. And then just some stamp cards that I also thought was a cute idea. I don't have a stamper, I don't have a hole punch, but I just decided to color it in whenever I do it, and just trying to, again, get me to do some stuff that I don't do as much. And okay, this was a really fun, really fun spread, and I get to keep adding to it, which is really fun. But it's just like a coming soon, so it's like everything that's coming up in 2026 to remind myself. I find that I always forget when, you know, there are new books coming out or new movies coming out, and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh my god, I should watch it, and then I totally forget that it's even coming out. So I wanted to make a little spread where I had everything down, and that way when I revisit it, you know, at the end of the year, I can also be like, oh my god, I forgot that I love that thing so much, especially with music. So yeah, I ended up making this. There are some things that are already out. I just have been meaning to, you know, consume them for a while, and it's just kind of like a reminder to myself. So I guess it's a mix of things that are actually coming out, but I guess things that I want to finish in 2026, like The Sopranos. It's obviously did not come out this year. But anyways, just things that I'm trying to push myself to finish as well. This was just a little like, I wanted to do something where I was adding something to a spread. So I did a flower for an upload. So I have to add a flower. And traveling locally, that could be like little restaurants that I'm trying. It could be cafes that I'm trying. It could just be a park that I've gone to. Things like that I'm just like pushing myself to see every new experience as a travel experience, I guess. This is just like a filling my bag kind of thing, which I thought was cute. Again, whatever. And then a gift tracker that I thought was really fun, but just for getting people gifts. I always forget when it comes to gift giving time. So I decided to try to keep a running tab of everything that I would want to give people that I think of over the year. And this was activities for different seasons. Again, I think it's good to remind myself that you don't just stay indoors for the whole winter. So just trying to push myself to do things that are related to the seasons as well. And then I think it's just like, there's like a really sad workout tracker, guys, that I tried to do from Nerd Fitness. I love Nerd Fitness. But anyways, I'm trying to just really work on moving my body. These were just like some exercises that they recommended. So hopefully I will try them at some point. And this is my at a glance 2026, which I think is really fun. So just trying to fill in a square for every time that I do one of these things. So every time I read a book, I go on a date, I do a consistent workout, I guess that's weekly, I do a crochet project, or I upload something. So again, just to see how I did on these different things that I would really want to track over the year, or things that I find important to me now. And then just the final ins and outs for the end of the year, so I can look back on it. And that is my tracker journal. And then this over here, it initially started off as a commonplace, but I guess as I did more research about it, I realized it's not really a commonplace book. It's more of a catch-all book. So I do have categories, very, very loose categories. As you can see here, I have some little stickers, again, Dollarama. But I just put them like, so for my reading challenge, the anti-brain rot challenge. So yeah, I've just kind of ended up using this as, again, literally just a catch-all. Like here, I have the challenge. This is initially where I was going to write it out. I messed up the ink really bad, but I also like did my planning over here for which books I wanted to read. I have a tracker over here as well, but this I just kind of tick off whenever I finish it. And I just did some research that I did when I was reading up more on magic. So literally just like all of these notes that I have from reading a bunch of reference books, things like that. And then it's kind of, I don't know, it's just a bunch of like random things too. Here I was planning out my garden because it, like, reading about, you know, green magic kind of got me really excited about my garden. So I started planning out my garden as well. And yeah, here we go. So this was just a little fact that I learned of when I was watching a documentary, so I decided to note it down, and I just put the little sticker next to it. Here I did a review. So I'm using this book for all of the reviews on the books that I'm reading during the anti-brain rot challenge. And then again, just some more like book reviews of the, I guess, the books that I'm reading. Changed ink color because I lost this pen. But yeah, really just book reviews, honestly. This is quotes from The Second Death of Locke that I really liked, but I feel like it had a lot of really good quotes in it, so I just copied down some of the quotes that I really liked. And that's really this notebook. It's really like just a catch-all notebook, I guess, with some very vague categories of things. And this is my final book. As you can tell, I have some tarot cards. I just wanted to keep some tarot cards with me because I love tarot cards. Haha. But this is my curriculum notebook. So this is where I'm taking down all of my notes while I'm reading nonfiction books and trying to learn more about topics that I'm interested in. So I just tried to start a little bit of an index so that I remember what I even wrote about. But yeah, really just trying to learn more about like the deep sea. I just, you know, I don't know, I get to just add little fun stuff that I want to add and just take down notes. So yeah, these are just all of my little notes and stuff. And oh, those are my cats, haha. Anyways, but yeah, these are just my notes. I'm obviously still pretty early in my curriculum, but yeah, that is my main journal. And so as you can see, it's definitely a lot of stuff that I would kind of be using not quite every day, but I would be using very frequently. Still a pretty good size that I can just like pop into my bag and take with me. But if I can get my little pocket notebook up and running, then it's definitely a bit of an easier fit into my bag. All right, my next journal is my junk journal or my scrapbook journal. It is really, really cute. This is not like, this doesn't have a journal cover. This is literally just a book that I bought. And there's nothing fancy about this one in terms of like me making anything. But anyways, I love it. It's getting a little bit chunky, as you can see, which I love the feel of. So it was initially only a junk journal. Wow. That sounded really crispy. And it was, I don't know, it was just a place for me to try to make cute little spreads and try to do like little themed spreads. But I decided that I wanted to use it as a, like more of a scrapbook, I guess. It kind of just went from like being, like a junk journal to actually like writing and making spreads and just being able to like, you know, actually hold on to memories and stuff, which I thought is just so much more fun. And it gives me just a way to like being able to journal, but being able to have a reason to create some of these spreads, because I feel like I have so much of this like stuff to to use, like little stickers. I just never end up using it because I'm like, oh, I want to write. I don't really know that I want to like make a spread, but now I can do both, you know, like it's great. It's lovely. So I get to just like make fun little spreads and junk journal and add my stickers and do just like have this other aspect of like my creative side come out while I'm writing and while I'm journaling. So yeah, that's my junk journal or my scrapbook, which I adore. We're coming up to the end of this now, so it's really only this and like one other journal. But this, as you can tell, I have some more tarot cards. Haha, so these are just my 4 favorite tarot cards. So I just wanted to keep them on me, just to get the energy, I guess. But this is actually my most personal journal, and this I've had since 2016. Well, the first time I wrote in it was in 2016. So I've had this for a decade now, and it's just, this is one of those journals that I reach for very, very sporadically, and mostly when I'm feeling something really emotional and I just really want to get something off my chest, and I just put pen to paper and I write and I write and I write. This one is not aesthetically pleasing in any way. We literally just have like, it's literally just me writing. That's it. It's just me writing. Like, I really don't have anything else in this journal except writing and writing and writing and writing. So there is nothing aesthetic about this journal. It is literally just for me to write and to get my emotions out and to process a lot of things. You know, every time I read through this journal, it is it is the best thing ever, because I really get to see like 10 years worth of myself and how I change and all these experiences that I go through. So it's definitely one of my favorite journals. It is the one I definitely hold closest to my heart. And this one is my last journal. I'd initially started this off as a content planning journal, or while I was trying to learn more about just content creation, I was like taking my notes down here. And then I was like, oh, well, once I watch something, I know it, so I don't need it anymore. So I was like, oh, I don't really need this. But I was looking for a journal to use as like my magic journal, just as I was trying to learn more about magic, and while I was trying to learn more, I think, about just spirituality in general. And I decided to just make this my magic journal. It literally just has things about my learning of magic. I obviously haven't used much of it, but they're just like some journal prompts that I have from some of the books that I read, and just getting down my thoughts on magic, spirituality, and what I really want from this journey. There you have it. That is my journal system. Definitely have some random stuff in there that I don't quite use just yet, but I'm excited to use it, and hopefully it's going to push me to use it. But that's really my ecosystem, and I think it serves me really well. I think it's an ecosystem that makes me feel really excited to journal, and I think that most of the things, except this book, if we just take this book out, everything in here has a purpose, it serves a purpose, and I really enjoy that. I love compartmentalizing, but I love having, you know, little boxes that I can put things into, and I can be like, yes, okay, this was an experience that I had, and now I can journal about it in my catch-all journal. I can put it in my scrapbook. I can put it in this. I can put it in that. So I love having all of these different notebooks that I just have with me all the time, and I don't have to go digging through a shelf or digging through a box trying to find all of these notebooks. It's just right here, and, you know, as I use this a little bit more as well, I can hopefully go for that more everyday creative part of my life and just nurture that part of my life. So yeah. So that was my journal ecosystem. I hope you guys love that as much as I did, because I love giving people a tour of just my journals and how I use them. It feels like such an intimate part of my life, but it's such a fun thing to share with people. So I'm so excited that I finally got to do this video. If you guys have your own ecosystems, let me know what you did to curate yours, or how you're even liking the way that you've set up your ecosystem. Are there things that you want to change? Are there things that you feel really work? Did you do a bunch of trial and error? I don't know. I'm so interested in hearing what people do and like how they journal, because I just feel like it says a lot about people, and I love it. I love learning more about people's thought processes and just the way that they organize their lives and their creativity. It's so fun. But anyways, tell me, drop that in the comments. Also, drop any recommendations if you have on how to improve my ecosystem. I'm always looking to keep it changing and keep it fresh. So anyways, thanks so much for joining, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.